Okay, folks, welcome. I am here again on the road. I'm still in Lexington, North Carolina, and I want to welcome you all for joining us here for this live event after our premiere. I see we have a few people who have joined us. So, those of you who are with us, there's Kimberly. Awesome. Uh, what did you think about this story? This is a domestic violence story. We don't have as many of those on our channel, but they're extremely important. And domestic violence storytellers are, of course, always very welcome for any of the topics that we address. We have never ever turned anyone away, and so I really like to stress that. So, like I said, we are on the we. There's no we on this trip. So I'm on the road. I'm in Lexington, North Carolina. So who else has joined us here? Who else is in the group? Do we have any of our usual suspects? Is there some new folks? I'm very, very glad you're all here. So let's talk for a minute about this story. This is a different kind of story because it's about domestic violence, but it's also about addiction recovery, and it's it's about finding your way. And one of the things that really stood out to me about this story is all of the parallels that go with that connect domestic violence, substance abuse, addiction, and hopefully, oftentimes, recovery. The people that come to us with stories like that about addiction or about domestic abuse or human trafficking, those stories tend to be stories with happy endings, but that's only because the ones that don't have happy endings are still in their fight. Anyway, I see Carla is here. That's awesome. So, yes, Carla, we do have coffee cups for sale. Oh, what that is there. And Kimberly says I was in her shoes and I'm going to listen to her. Yeah, she's on it. I don't know if Tiffany is with us in the group. She's aware of the premiere. Probably I don't know. Tiffany reminded me of my older sister when she was listing the husbands. My sister had five, but the fifth one was in recovery like her and never laid a hand on her in anger. So it was a good one. If you're both in recovery, there can be a kind of you're each other's sponsor if the communication is there and you're both on the same page. Yeah, we only have one hoodie with a zipper and it's mine. But one day, Brad, we will hook you up some kind of way. So I don't know how many of you were with us yesterday, but we had a mild disaster with going live and with what was supposed to have been the premiere that happened today. An issue with audio and then an issue with the connection as well. And right now the connection is looking, it seems like what's happening here in North Carolina with this connection anyway is that fluctuating, so it'll be better than worse, and it keeps going back and forth. So sorry, this is what I've got. From here, I'm going to be in on Monday, sometime Monday. I'm going to be in Kansas City for another event, uh, and it's going to be an event that's related to cannabis. And then from Kansas, I believe I'm heading back to Houston. So I'll kind of sort of be going through the edge of Oklahoma. No, Brad, not not too recently, but yeah, kind of recently, I guess. Cut my own hair, in case you can't tell. But uh, Margie Live says I had a bad batch of lettuce one day and thought how I might have been laced with something other than za. Do you know any signs of if it could have been something other than weed? No, I don't. I don't really know any physical signs that you could identify on the substance. There could be signs in how you respond to the substance, but even that is tricky. That because of legalization, there is there's a lot of really potent products out there that are marketed as cannabis in the form of edibles or stuff that's administered in vapes, and even oh, Brad, and even the what's presented as natural is cultivated and developed to be much more potent than what us older folks might be familiar with from back in the day. So I don't really have a good answer for that. It's really hard to get accurate, straightforward facts. There's one side of the argument that tends to kind of be opposed to everything, and the other side of the argument that tends to be supportive of everything. And that I believe exists because there's a lack of information. There's just a lack of factual, credible information. And so we're trying to address that some on our channel, but we're just we're just a YouTube channel, but we're doing what we can. And so until the culture gets to the point where the people who support legalization of weed can recognize that there are dangers too, and until the people who are opposed to the legalization of weed can recognize that legalization can be reasonable, until they come together, I don't think it's going to get any better. Oh, I'm sorry you're not going to go, Brad. But if you're not going, you could come to Kansas City. That's where I'm going to be. No, It's a week later. The shutdown could pass, Brad. Really want to see you do the speech. I think it would be good for you. Carla says, Kimberly, believe me, I do. I lost my 19-year-old daughter to fentanyl poisoning. They lost their sister. Well, Carla, I may be able to do that on my way home from Kansas City. I think it might be a little bit of a detour, but maybe we can make that happen. That would be cool. Brad, you could do that. Carla, Brenda's got a good idea there. You could you could you could deliver your speech right here. Risk. They should have it outside of DC. Well, I know the organizer, and there are other events. The group that's organizing it is Lost Voices of Fentanyl, and they are having events all over the country. But the one in DC is the big one, and it's kind of where it has to happen. I heard something about a No Kings rally or protest going on the same day. No, it's not a Motel 6, Brad. It's a Quality Inn. But I feel like the name is a little bit misleading, especially judging by the way my internet connection is fluctuating here. But the air conditioner works, and there's hot water, and there's breakfast. So and the internet kind of sort of works. So that's where we're at. Uh, it looks like a Motel 6. Yeah. So this rally, the thing about rallies is a lot happens in the rally. There's it's If you think about a rally, think about it being a kind of a march to the White House kind of thing, and and it is that, but it's a lot more than that. So during the rally, they're set up on the lawn of the Washington Monument, and there is tents and exhibits and booths, and there's speakers, like Brad, and there's a lot of there's a lot of families that have lost someone to fentanyl there, and there's a lot of connection and bonding and learning, and there's a substantial amount of media coverage as well because it's in Washington D.C. And so the rally is a cool thing. It's a big deal. Brenda says, I will say tonight's room looks way better than last night's room. Well, actually, Brenda, it's the same room, but it seems to be At least so far, it seems to be a much better internet connection. And so that is a thing. Kimberly's asking, is our storyteller with us? I don't know. Tiffany, are you are you with us this evening? Hope so. I know that you were going to try to make it. Carla said that they said we can't have any of that this year if the government is still shut down. Oh, that's terrible. That's really awful. I think that the stuff that happens on the lawn, the speeches and the networking and all of the exhibits that are out there on the lawn are a vital part of the event, and probably the part of the event that has the most long-term impact on progress with addressing fentanyl. So that would really be terrible. I see that our viewers fluctuate a lot. According to the display here, we're down to one says 5 and one says 9. The DEA Fentanyl Museum, that, that place kind of bugs me. And the reason why it bugs me, I've been there, and I feel like the exhibit is it is it's broken out by segments. Like there's a illicit fentanyl segment, and there's a speed segment, cocaine, heroin, quaaludes. They're all kind of broken out, and really, it kind of seems like a monument to the DEA's failure. That nothing they have tried to do has nothing they have tried to do has succeeded. Not really, because they're not really addressing. I think they're not really addressing the root of the problem, and the root of the problem is the demand. Until culturally we get a grip on this concept that illicit drugs uh, are a suitable recreation, a suitable solution to treat trauma, I don't think it's going to stop. Rain is on the wall in the second building. There's a second building. Brenda, that's a good question. I think that rescheduling an event that is that substantial is that'd be a big task. It's something that could happen, I think, but and it may wind up getting canceled if there's a shutdown and a second protest, like the No Kings thing. I don't know. It could. We'll see. So that is right, isn't it? That there's a No Kings protest scheduled for the same day. There's no relation between fentanyl and the No King stuff. But it seems like it's not in anyone's interest to compete. The second building. So the building that I was in is the building with the museum. Is that's the I think the first building? Is that no, the second building? I remember there's another building just across where the parking lot that we parked in was shared by two buildings, and so yeah, I think Carla's probably right about that. That there's so much expense and coordination and scheduling involved in making something happen as big as an event like that. All the exhibitors with all the tents that are on the lawn, they've all made some kind of substantial investment to be there and to be doing whatever they're doing. Like last time, talked with the organization, a representative from an organization that has a treatment. It works. It would be like a competitor to naloxone. It's not naloxone. It isn't the active ingredient in Narcan. It's something else. So there are two parts to the museum, and they are both full to capacity with faces. Yeah. Yeah, Rain is a beautiful name. I don't know what. Oh, look, there's some sort of new thing here. Hmm. Okay. Sorry, YouTube keeps making little changes, and I do my best to figure them out as they show up. But it doesn't always work that way. Oh, Brad, you're just trying to torture me now. I wish I had a good answer. My feeling is that Roe v. Wade shouldn't be necessary. How's that for a good answer? Brisket's always good. Okay, yeah, that's way easier to talk about than Roe v. Wade. Oh, Brad, you're killing me. Why? Why torture me so? Cabbage rolls, Brad. I don't know what to. I don't know what to say to that. So our next story, which will could be today's Thursday, it could be Saturday. Our next story is a fentanyl story that we recorded in Mississippi, but actually happened. Uh, I believe actually happened in Pensacola. Brenda says, Brad, walk through the homeless encampments and see all the pregnant homeless women. Much harder to debate Roe v. Wade when you see the lives affected. Yeah, I think probably Brenda and Brad and me are probably on the same page. But that is just not one of those topics that that we want to go down. It's not one we want to be addressing here. That's my dream. Marianne, Brad, you are ridiculous in my opinion. Should be talking about the live FFS. Gosh, good point, Marianne. Brad, do you know what FFS means? I do. It might be after your time. Marianne is right. So, so we were talking about the premiere, and then we deviated a bit. So, so what are the some of the what are some of the things that stood out to you guys about the premiere? I don't know, Tiffany, are you with us here? I really the, one of the things that struck me right away was Tiffany's courage, and that struck me when I shot the interview, when we sat down and started talking, the just very matter of fact kind of openness that Kimberly, that Tiffany demonstrated during the interview was admirable, because it seems like some of those some of those things could have been a bit of a challenge to say out loud, to share with a stranger, and to share with a stranger knowing that it's being recorded and it's going to be shared with tons of people. Oh, I'm sorry, Brad. Are you getting twisted up? Gosh, Marianne, I don't know what GTSY means. Maybe that's because I'm frightfully close to Brad's age, but GTSY, I don't know that one. Kimberly says I can tell Tiffany had a hard time talking about it. A little bit, and that's what made her courage stand out. You could see that she was really mustering up some courage to go down that road, and she did it. And she was able to get to that wonderful point where she gets to talk about where she's at now and what she's doing now and how she's helping other people now. All of that is wonderful stuff. The new person from last night. Yeah, I remember the new person. There was a new person from last night, and I don't. That's a good. That's a good one, Carla. Except for the whole maybe thing. That lowers my confidence in your translation. But I think that's the best theory so far. Yeah, it seems totally not in line with the FFS one that was before it. So I don't know. Brad, I don't care. Marianne says. Brad, are you and Marianne having a spat? What's going on here? Brenda says, I cannot believe tomorrow will be day 400 off of illicit fentanyl for me. The days are zooming by now, unlike in the beginning when the days drug on for months. It truly does feel amazing to be alive. That's awesome, Brenda. And I'm sure you're not the only one who's in this group right now who is not only pulling for your recovery and thrilled about your recovery, but are in their own recovery journey and finding strength in what you're saying there. That's such a big deal. It's so important to share that. Kimberly says, I have two sons, one's 27 and one's 50. Wow. That's quite a gap there. Marianne says everyone is battling something. And that's so true. That I think maybe I think everyone who's doing anything is battling something. I think people that are completely content with whatever television brings them or whatever social media brings them, and they just live on their sofa. Maybe not. So Jackson, there's a Jackson Brown song called "The Pretender," and he talks about it as there's people who are out there, and then there's people that are a happy idiot. Is the way in the song he says, "I'm going to be a happy idiot and struggle for the legal tender." And so that's there are people like that. When he wrote that song back in the 60s or early 70s, the song was inspired by a drummer who would show up to work, do his little drumming thing, and leave. And that was it. The song starts off, I'm going to rent myself a house in the shade of a freeway. I'll pack my lunch in the morning and go to work each day. And when the evening comes around, I'll go on home and lay my body down. And when the morning light comes streaming in, I'll get up and do it again. And if that's the extent of the depth of the life someone is leading, maybe there isn't really much struggle to that. Off I went, just like that. I don't know. Okay, so let me catch up. Clearly, nobody cared about Jackson Brown. Carla, I have two sons. Da, da, da. Everyone is battling something. Yes, I do agree, Marianne. Everyone is battling something. Probably even a happy idiot. And Marianne said, I'm sorry for all that are struggling. Me too. But the struggle is also what makes the achievement so sweet, isn't it, Brenda? 400 days. But you know what the struggle was like to get to those 400 days, and you know what it was like before you started on that journey. Okay, see, there went the data. I don't know if you guys, I hope you're hearing me. Ah, just like that. Okay, maybe we're back. Open the widget. I don't. Relapse is a thing. Jeez. I don't know how we're doing here, folks. It doesn't look like we're doing very good. It appears that, well, now we're sort of working again. YouTube has given me this yellow sign that says not enough, not enough data. So I don't know. Am I becoming? Uh, I don't know, folks. Oh, don't do that. Yeah, something must be happening with the. Okay. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate you letting me know that you can hear me because I find it. I swear it's. Hmm. Doing what I can. It looks like the picture just went a little dim. Even that's peculiar. There we go. Anyway, so our there it is again. All right, so we're having the same kind of weird connection issues. It hasn't been as bad as last night, but it seems seems like it's happening again. Okay, what have I missed, Brad? Wait a minute, no, Marianne. Let me know if I can help you in any way. And gosh, Marianne, I know Brad, and I know that he means that. I know he means that. And yeah, all you guys, I love coming here and doing this. It is weird, like you guys can't imagine, but I love coming here doing this with you guys, you regulars like Risk and Carla and Brad and Brenda and Kimberly, Nux with whatever happened to Nux, I don't know. Marianne, I'm so glad you're here. That's just the dynamic and this incredible support thing. It's great. I feel like it is cutting up again, so we're probably going to wrap it up soon. But uh, it's doing it again. Yeah. So we wind up doing these live things after most of the premieres on our channel. Sometimes a story will be published without a premiere. It kind of depends on the story. Yeah. So it kind of depends on the story and the depends on what the story is about, and it depends on where in the country I'm at and what kind of gear and what kind of internet access. Maybe I should have done this at a Starbucks. Buffering almost continuously. Thanks for, thanks for joining us, Cindy. Good to see you here again. I am. I am Mr. I'm a Motel 6 kind of guy. I am at a cheap hotel. But but totally adequate except for the internet. Yeah, I'm on hotel Wi-Fi in a Quality Inn hotel, and the name Quality is a bit of an exaggeration. The connection to the hotel's internet is fine, but the connection between the hotel's internet that I'm on and YouTube, that's where the problem seems to be. Brianna, thank you for joining us. Hotel Wi-Fi is always crappy unless you pay for a stronger signal. I know that, and they did not have that option. Typically, most of the time, I'm staying in Marriott hotels and staying in what would the cheap Marriott, the Courtyard or Fairfield Inn, one of those. And the internet in those places has always been just fine. Marianne says TYVM, Brad, and I think I can figure that one out. I love how we connect here. I really do. Even it so YouTube tells me open the widget. And it's doing it again, isn't it? I don't see any way to. So I have a message here that says adjust the stream rate. Evidently, that's too complicated for me. Hmm. But no. Hmm. Okay. Where's the storyteller? I guess our storyteller didn't make it. I'm hoping that you guys are. I'm hoping it's working better now. I don't know. I still have this error message. So I really, my fear is that the stream is going to crash and we'll just go poof and this will be over. And I would much rather wrap it up without it being some sort of shock, you know? So we're probably going to wrap it up now. We've been here over 45 minutes and probably, no, I'm not. Nope. Saturday, Saturday when we finish, Saturday when I finish shooting, I'm gonna be immediately on the road towards Kansas. Yeah, Carla, I would love that. I think that would be fantastic. Maybe we can just plan for that. I have to get what's happening in Kansas. I don't know if I'm gonna be there for one day or two. So what that means is I would probably be passing through Oklahoma City Tuesday or Wednesday or maybe Thursday. And so it'd be way cool to do something like the thing we did at Toby Keith's last time. I don't have any tumblers other than this one. And as cool as it is, I'm not giving it away. So, and it's also dinged up a bit. But so if you guys can kind of bear with me while I sort out the rest of my schedule, sometime over the next few days, I'll know. And maybe if all of you guys are in the Facebook group, the Texas Pictures Storytellers Facebook group, I'll make an announcement there if I can sort out a way to be in Oklahoma City around lunchtime, late lunch. Uh, Brad, Carla, Brenda, anyone else, if you can get to Oklahoma City, you're very welcome. And over the next couple of days, maybe we can figure out where we want to do the Toby Keith thing again, or we want to go somewhere else. It's really all about the people. Now, see, I'm still staring at this stupid message. All right, folks. So many evil people get to live, but I lost my baby, Rain. She was the most amazing person my heart has ever known. Well, Carla, she surely got a lot of that from you. So we are gonna. Brad says it does bother me that Carla hasn't been to church since Rain died. She says she's mad at God. Well, Carla, you can go to church and holler at him. You can. You can. I won't be. I won't be in Oklahoma City on a Sunday. If I was, I would go with you. You're welcome to come to Houston, and